2019 was a busy season for Team Firefly. We were incredibly proud of all three teams for qualifying for the international final at Silverstone. FFO3, our Year 9 car, finished 63rd out of 266 cars. Here are Awais and Suleiman to tell us more.
Getting FFO3 to Silverstone in our very first year of racing was very exciting, as you know, it was our first ever year and we were going to a historic racetrack to race in the finals of F24, so it was really exciting for us.
It was a huge experience because we'd obviously never raced before, and it was just really fun to get to international track in our first year driving around it.
I feel that Green Power F24 is an extremely good introduction to engineering, as you learn a lot about how a lot of tools work and how to use them, safety, a lot of collaboration and learning how to prioritize things.
I think it's great because it's something I'm really interested in, and I'm learning better skills than I would normally in a classroom.
Yes, we are very much looking forward to racing FFO1 next year. We have already got a list of modifications and to-do lists so that we will have the best year possible.
I think it's another really good challenge in the Team Firefly setup, and I think it would be great to drive it around, making it as competitive as possible.
FFO1, our Year 10 and 11 car, came 85th out of 266 cars. Here is Ricky to tell us more.
We found out FO1 qualified for Silverstone really late, like the week before. And so it was a frantic rush for the whole team to get together, as most people had already planned to go away, and so we were scrambling looking for drivers, for team members to get the whole car running, and so we had to make a bunch of extra body parts and body works and get the motor working all within a week, and so that was very stressful, and so we didn't quite get the best quality that we were looking for. Driving at Silverstone was one of the coolest things I've ever done. I mean, to go on a national race circuit on which proper Formula One cars go, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It was one of the most exciting things for me. Considering it was only my second or third time driving, I'd driven before at a race, but this was completely different. It's a different scale. Far more cars, far more excitement, far more people. It's really spectacular. On the day, F1 it was okay, it was as expected. We started off 96, we ended up low 80s. We didn't expect to do superbly because we hadn't had much preparation time. And along with that, Silverstone was a completely new circuit to us, and we had very little data from previous races, so we were struggling already. And that combined with the lack of a proper team due to not enough people, and us frantically getting different gearings and new drivers, we didn't end up doing so well, but it was still fantastic to be there. Taking part in the Green Power competition is one of the coolest things I've done my whole life. Building cars, racing them, it's really everything you could ask for. You build it from the ground up, you race these cars at national circuits. It's very special. You learn so much. In the future, I'm certainly going to do engineering, some sort of mechanical or electrical. This has really helped me get into that because I've learned so many new skills and talked to so many people. I've really been able to get a lot of knowledge and experience from this competition.
FFO2, our senior car, raced in the F24 Plus competition. They came 8th and were the second highest school-based car. Here is George, who came back from university to race in his last race, to tell us more.
after practice we had a few intense discussions about which gear ratio to choose, but with enough time to spare to install it, we chose a gear ratio, stuck with it, installed it in the car. I got suited and booted and installed into the car as well. Then, with about 10-15 minutes to go until the flag was about to drop, it started pouring it down. Classic Silverstone, but it was going to make it a lot more exciting. So, having wrapped up in clothes a little warmer under the suit, we pushed out to the grid. Sitting there, the Union Jack about to drop, anticipation, blood running, and we're about to start the race. So, watching all of the other cars, watching the flag drop, dropping the throttle, and it was just amazing how quickly we pulled away. But not just pulling away, holding pace with all of the other cars, overtaking left, right and centre. I was really having to look as far forwards as I could to pick my line through, but just knowing that we were overtaking such prestigious cars from such big teams, Jaguar Land Rover, Silesian and Renishaw, going past all of them in something that we put so much work into, to have that all pay off and to see that pace firsthand, not just from the videos later, but to be there holding the throttle, steering past them was the best feeling ever. But knuckling down for the rest of the race, obviously we've chosen our gear ratio, we've stuck with it, so we were betting on using just the right amount of energy to last us to the end of the race. So every time coming round, looking at the energy display, I was trying to figure out whether or not we would make it to the end of the race, and it was looking quite tight. Coming towards the end of the race, knowing that the car was bogging down a little, we judged the gearing pretty well, better than some of the other competitors. We came home finishing 8th, equaling our best, but this time in the international final at Silverstone, of all places. Just elated to cross that line, knowing that we'd placed that highly against such big teams, just from the effort that we've put in ourselves was such a reward to have got crossing the line. But also crossing that line, it really sunk in how those whole 3 years had given me such a fun experience, but also such a wealth of knowledge that I'm now really digging into as I go off to university and I'm starting to work on other engineering projects. I realise how spoilt I've been in the things I've learned and the people that I've had the opportunity to work with. I just have to say a massive thank you to everyone involved, and it's the best way I could have spent all of those 3 years.
If you want to find out how the team is doing between vlogs, then you can find us on social media. We are at Firefly F24 everywhere.